Hello, and welcome back to another episode of No Space, No Time World. It's August the 8th. Happy August the 8th. My name is Cyrielle, and I'm here on Conscious Consumer Network every Wednesday evening to take you through a meditation, to give you out a healing transmission, and then have some fun and fascinating chats with a guest talking about his or her personal experiences of anomalies or glitches in the matrix, showing us that this so-called reality is not quite what we think it is. Please do email in at my email address on the screen and share your own personal experiences regarding these things that are not supposed to happen in this reality. And this gives you an opportunity to share your experiences in a safe space without criticism. So as I always say, there's no need to mention any names of anyone who was with you. And I'm not interested in any personal information. And you can also remain anonymous. Just share what your experiences are or were and where they happened. And also please email in with any requests for specific healing transmissions that we can address as a group. I will channel new healing transmissions as required. And it would also be really nice to hear from you with any experiences you have from the weekly healing transmissions. So some feedback would be good. Okay, so tonight we have no guest, but that's fine. Many people seem to be on holiday. And so what we'll do this evening is have our usual meditation and then a brand new healing transmission. So exactly what this new transmission was going to be for this week only came through yesterday afternoon. And I only typed it up today around lunchtime. So it's hot off the press, so to speak. I have no idea how this is going to work because I never usually use this system in this way. This is a first. So what came through was a healing transmission working on something called the human blueprint. So the human blueprint is a system that I channeled a few years back. It arrived in little bits and pieces and kind of random things here and there, but gradually it developed and came through into a whole vast system that I use in various ways in every single client session I do. That's an energetic kinesiology, at least. So what is the human blueprint? Okay, each of us has our own personal human blueprint, reflected on the physical plane by our DNA. The DNA level of our blueprint only holds the information for the blueprint of our physical and physiological bodies mainly. But beyond the physical plane are the astral, mental and spiritual planes holding the emotional, mental and spiritual information of our total multidimensional being. And it's through the full expression of this multidimensional blueprint that we become whole. In our personal human blueprint, we hold patterning, and this patterning makes us who and what we are. Some of this patterning is karmic, acquired from previous incarnations. Some is programmed or learned through experiences from current and previous incarnations. Learned programming from teachers, from parents, from family. And some also comes from ancestral and karmic ancestral patterning. And I have even come across patterning that is affecting us here in the present from future incarnations. In energetic kinesiology, when we check age recession, we check past, present and future. And sometimes in this context, future comes up. Something in the future is affecting us now. So the information and patterning in our human blueprint shapes our current lives on physical, emotional, mental, spiritual and core levels. Much of this patterning and programming, though, is subconscious and unconscious negative patterning and programming. And it's this negative programming that holds us back and has the effect of limiting us. And it's often detrimental to the full expression of our true selves. So by accessing the human blueprint, this enables us to release this negative patterning, freeing us from its restrictions and limitations so that we can become whole, allowing the emergence of our true selves free from the baggage of ancestors, from the baggage of previous incarnations and more that we've been carrying around for so long. And through this newly gained freedom, we can rise in consciousness and access multidimensionality. Now, it took a few years before a clear way to access the specific parts of the blueprint. And it took a few years for this to come through. I had some kind of vague knowledge somewhere and vague information, but gradually it all came together. And since it did, the blueprint work has grown and expanded. As with all healing techniques, protocols and procedures that I channel through, I first try them out on myself to see if A, do they actually work? And B, what are the reactions? Is there processing afterwards? Is it rough? How does it feel? What does it do? What has changed? What are the benefits? And so on. Plus, I cannot realistically clear something for a client if it's not clear within myself. This can actually cause problems because in working in that way, it can trigger things within you that you haven't yet cleared, which is not good for you. So today, the human blueprint work has grown to incorporate not only clearing negative programming and patterning from the blueprint, but also working directly on ancestral issues, clearing hidden underlying core beliefs, clearing chromosome distortions ancestrally from the point of origin of the distortion, and also what caused the distortion in the first place, to clearing negative patterning from past incarnations and spiritual lineage, to blueprint transplants for walk-ins and those who've experienced reincarnations in the same body, which we call in light body RSBs, and also blueprint upgrades for all, optimized and readied for ascension and the person's next step in growth. And also to the grounding and accessing of gifts, talents and more that are hidden out there in the blueprint that we can't access. There are ways to bring those into our conscious awareness so we can use these on Earth. And it is also developed for the clearing of negative genetic memories held in the DNA and blueprint relating to ascension and a few other things. And I'm sure it will develop further too. But for now, that's where it is. Now, I do teach the blueprint work in energetic kinesiology format. And I also wrote a module manual in divine healing format that Almira Ariel Haller of the Center of Love and Enlightenment teaches for me. For both the energetic kinesiology version and the divine healing version, there are prerequisites to be able to be on either course. You can't just go on the course. You have to have a certain amount of applied physiology, kinesiology training, knowledge, experience and practice of at least 2 years training. And for divine healing, you must have completed levels 1 to 4 before you do this module. Now, I have had a request before to buy the kinesiology manual from me, but I had to refuse, as the kinesiologists who asked me did not have the correct training. There are many techniques in the manual that would have been meaningless to them, and so they would not have been fully effective in their deliverance of the work. There are very specific techniques which they had not been trained in at all. And the manual also requires learning in a workshop setting, not just, oh, I have the manual, I'll just vaguely do what's written, I can do it, I'll work it out. See, that's not the way, because doing this work without totally understanding what you're doing and what can happen and why you're doing it and how to manage clients afterwards is not at all ideal. So please don't ask me to send either the kinesiology manual or the divine healing manual, because I'm not going to do it. You cannot just mess around with someone's blueprint. This is deep and powerful stuff, and your clients deserve positive, beneficial consciousness rising change. Using this work in the wrong way or without understanding, without full knowledge of what you're doing and what this work can do, could be very detrimental for your client, leaving a whole big energetic mess that would then need to be cleaned up. And don't forget that the ancestral work will affect all those belonging to the ancestral line that has been worked on, if you're doing an ancestral healing. So it could end up by being a mess of gigantic proportions, to think of all those people in that ancestral line. And this we definitely do not want. So if you are interested, get the proper training. It's out there. I've just trained a one-to-one kinesiology colleague in Canada, a lady who did have the correct prerequisites. And I am actually training another kinesiology colleague in London this week. The Kinesiology Blueprint Workshop may be being taught this year in Australia, not yet confirmed, and in 2 different places in Australia and in Hong Kong as well, but not by me, but by Dr. Charles T. Krebs, PhD. I won't be there, but this is 3 possibilities of training if you do have the kinesiology requisites. And if you're in London, you can come to me. Or you can do a one-to-one over Zoom. The technically simpler but still powerful version, and the one that requires less training time, is the divine healing version. If you are interested in this, then you need to contact Almira at the Center for Love and Enlightenment, as she is the one that teaches this module. I am not yet qualified to teach divine healing, but when I am qualified, I will teach this myself, along with other things that I've developed and conversions from kinesiology to divine healing. but I haven't written any of those manuals yet, but they're coming. So the whole idea actually of creating the divine healing versions of my work is just to get the work out there to more people, so that those untrained in applied physiology, kinesiology, can still have access to the benefits of these works and can then give greater and deeper clearing for their clients, meaning that these benefits can be experienced by a far larger number of people, thus raising consciousness on planet Earth a lot more quickly and easily. There aren't too many kinesiologists in England who have the kind of training that is required for the human blueprint work. They're mostly in Europe and Australia, and a few in USA and Canada. Tonight, we are not going into the greatest depths of the blueprint. It would not be possible, as every person is different. Each has different issues, a different history, different ancestors, different spiritual lineages, programming and experiences. That kind of deep work requires one-to-one sessions. Nevertheless, the human blueprint does have some general characteristics related to the different coordinates that we can use in a group situation. And so the intent for this evening's general healing transmission for the human blueprint is to clear some of these things for each of you. There are different coordinates of the blueprint, which is how we access it. This evening, we will work with one unit consisting of two different coordinates. These two coordinates are linked to each other. So this evening is the transformation and support blueprint unit. Also, and because you never know exactly who is watching the show, if there are any extraterrestrials out there who will be receiving this transmission, your blueprint may be slightly or very different from the human blueprint, depending on your species. I will make adaptations to cover various species. I am actually currently working on blueprints for different species, but I haven't got all the information through yet that I need, so please bear with me on that one. So, as we did with the solfeggio healing transmissions, we will do a little week by week for the blueprint. We are going to work blueprint unit by blueprint unit. The human blueprint is too vast to cover in one healing transmission, and it would be far too much to receive energetically all in one go. So how we will work is that we will first do a release of the general negative programming, emotions and states specifically related to each blueprint unit. And then we'll follow this by replacing the released negatives with positives, infusing all the related positive qualities into the unit that we're working with. And just so you know and are prepared, this blueprint transmission is longer than the previous solfeggio healing transmissions, as there's a lot more involved. So, if you have any questions, please email in. I'm happy to answer them. And let us begin by preparing ourselves for the new blueprint healing transmission with our weekly meditation. Okay, meditation time. Let us begin. The Awaken the Spark Within meditation. So relax. Get into a comfortable position. Take off your shoes if possible. Sit, lay down, whichever you can do. Whatever feels the most comfortable for you. Close your eyes. Clear your mind. Be at peace. Now, focus on the point approximately 2 to 3 fingers width below your navel. Staying at the level of this point, shift your focus to right inside your body. Go right inside. You are now in your core. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light into your core. Fill the space. Fill the space with this pure, loving light with every out breath. Feel it spread out, revitalizing your core. Keep breathing, saturating your core with spirit. As this pure, loving light spreads, it reveals a door. We will call this door the lower door. Door number 1. Walk towards this door with thanks and gratitude and a smile from your heart center. Open the door and step through. You are now in the lower chamber of your core. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light into the lower chamber of your core, filling it completely with pure loving light. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, feel the light spread, revitalizing your lower chamber, clearing away all stuck and dense energies, and revitalizing your physical body. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, more is cleared, more and more. As this pure loving light spreads, it reveals a door. We will call this door the middle door. Door number 2. Walk towards this door. We will call this door, door number 2. And walk towards this door number 2. Clear the space as you walk through. Clear the mist that is in front of you. Breathe out the pure loving light. Clear the mist. Now with thanks and gratitude and a smile from your heart center, open the door and step through. You are now in the middle chamber of your core, the chamber of the heart. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Fill this chamber with love. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light into the middle chamber of your core, filling it completely with pure, loving light. Keep breathing, and with every exhalation, feel the light spread, revitalizing your middle chamber and clearing away all stuck and all dense energies, and clearing away all energies that are not loving energies. Continue. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, more dense energy is cleared. And continue until the only energy that can exist in this middle chamber is that of love. Keep breathing. Fill the middle chamber with love. And now, as love takes over, yet another door is revealed. And we will call this door the upper door. Door number 3. Please walk towards door number 3. With thanks, gratitude, and love, and a smile from deep in your heart center. Open door number 3 and step through. You are now in the upper chamber of your core. This is your core connection to spirit and the spiritual realms. Breathe deeply, slowly and deeply. Breathe in the pure light of spirit and exhale this pure light into the upper chamber of your core, filling it completely with pure, loving light. Keep breathing. With every exhalation, feel this light spread. revitalizing your upper chamber and clearing away all stuck and all dense energies and clearing away all blocks to higher dimensions, opening and strengthening your connection to spirit and the spiritual realms. Keep breathing. Feel this pure light spread until there is nothing else but pure, loving light. Now, all three chambers are filled with pure, loving, gentle, and powerful light of spirit. Please pause in this love. Feel the peace. Now take an even deeper breath, deeper than ever before. And exhale strongly, expanding this pure, loving light of spirit, exploding it further and further and further, dimension to dimension, further and further, until you experience a sudden stillness. You are its source. You have reached source. Feel the stillness. Feel the peace. Feel the love. Now bathe in this exquisite energy and give thanks for all that you are and for all that is. Remain in this state. Remember how it feels. Remember the stillness so that you can return to this state at will, anytime you wish to, and give thanks. Give thanks for this gift. Now, when you are ready, please slowly open your eyes, returning to this reality whilst keeping this strong connection to Source. This week, I want you to remain in your comfortable position as we are going to proceed straight away with the Blueprint Healing transmission. So close your eyes once more and relax. Take a deep breath and exhale slowly. Before we begin properly, I wish to share with you that the emotions, states, and beliefs that we are releasing this evening and the positive qualities that we will be activating and infusing are adapted from the Melbourne Applied Physiology, Kinesiology, Working with Emotions workshop. And all these are related to specific meridians connected to this evening's blueprint coordinates for this transmission. Okay, let us begin. Healing Transmission Team. Please open and prepare a multidimensional space for a blueprint healing transmission. During this transmission, there will be a few silent moments when I will pause from time to time to allow things to shift. And in the case of activations, to allow things to integrate and infuse. I will still be here. Please relax and trust. Your job is to receive. So just remain still and relaxed. And in these silences, allow the shifts to happen within yourself. Thank you. All Healing Transmission Team members, please clear and remove all dense energies from my space and from the space of each being receiving this healing transmission. Thank you. Teams, please place the being you are working with in a protective sphere to shield this being from all outside interference. Stabilize. Thank you. We command an immediate shift to no space, no time. Now. I address all the guides, masters and teams of each being receiving this healing transmission to come online now. Please be on standby, ready to assist and support the being you are working with. All masters and specialists for both human and extraterrestrial blueprints, online now. Are all teams ready to begin? Thank you. Teams, please access the blueprint of the being you are working with now. Thank you. For any participating extraterrestrials, teams, please adapt all commands on a physical level to the equivalent required for the species of the being you are working with. Teams, we are to begin with the transformation and support blueprint unit. Please access and connect to this blueprint unit now. Thank you. On all levels and layers, multidimensionally, ancestrally, for all incarnations across space and time, for the highest and best good of all, we command the release from the transformation and support blueprint unit and all associated pathways and cells, physical and etheric, and requesting the optimal clearing that can be made at this time for each receiving being, regarding all of the following: the release of all feelings and beliefs of being unwanted and unaccepted. The release of all feelings and beliefs of being undesirable. The release of all feelings and beliefs that I am unattractive. The release of all feelings and beliefs that I am not pleasing to spirit. The release of all feelings and beliefs that I am unpleasant. The release of all feelings and beliefs that I can never have sufficient resources to meet my goals. The release of all feelings and beliefs that my personality is not pleasing. The release of all feelings and beliefs that I am unable to process information correctly. The release of all feelings and beliefs that my hypothalamus gland is not strong or healthy. The release of any inability to maintain optimal temperature for my body. The release of any inability to maintain a balanced, nutritious appetite. The release of any inability to communicate with others. The release of any inability to ensure I have accurate facts. the release of any inability to think clearly, the release of any shyness, the release of any speechlessness, the release of all feelings and beliefs that I am unable to have close, fulfilling, loving relationships. The release of all feelings and beliefs that I am not listened to. The release of any inability to listen to others and any inability to feed back with love. The release of any blocks within me that make it difficult for others to talk to me. The release of anything within me that makes it difficult for others to share freely with me. The release of any inability to be honest and truthful. The release of any inability to see the truth. The release of any inability to share freely with spirit. The release of any inability to feel enthusiastic. The release of any inability to give, to love, to be compassionate and tactful. The release of anything that is blocking and preventing me knowing how I truly feel. The release of any inability to share with others in need. The release of all feelings and beliefs that my pineal gland is not strong or healthy. The release of any inability to see things clearly. The release of any inability to set goals. The release of any inability to see the light. The release of any inability to know what I truly want from my heart. The release of any inability to consider the consequences of all my actions. The release of any inability in knowing what to say, when to say it, or how to say it. The release of any inability to use and project my voice in a loving, captivating manner. The release of any inability to use appropriate words in appropriate tones. The release of all feelings and beliefs that I am trapped and cannot break free. We give great thanks for the graceful release of all of these from the Transformation and Support Blueprint Unit and all associated cells, pathways, physical and etheric. We will pause to allow a little more release to take place. Okay. Now on all levels and layers, multidimensionally, ancestrally, for all incarnations across space and time, and for the highest and best good of all, we command the activation and infusion of all the following positive qualities within the Transformation and Support Blueprint Unit and all related pathways and cells, physical and etheric. We activate and infuse. I am accepted and wanted. I am desirable. I am pleasing to Spirit. I am attractive. I am charismatic. I have a pleasing personality. I always have sufficient resources to meet my goals. I process information correctly. I have a strong, healthy hypothalamus. I maintain the optimal temperature for my body at all times, in all situations. I maintain a balanced and nutritionally rich diet. I have an appetite for high vibrational nutritional foods. I speak in pleasant tones. I use appropriate words and appropriate tones in all my communications. I communicate with others and with spirit, with grace and ease. I listen to others and I feed back with love. I know what to say, when to say it and how to say it. I see the light. I see clearly. I know what I truly want from my heart. I set goals with confidence, grace, and ease. I consider the consequences of my actions. I use and project my voice in a loving and captivating manner. I ensure that I always have accurate facts. I think clearly. I am tactful and compassionate. I am enthusiastic. I love. I give. I am honest and truthful. I see the truth. I share freely with others in need. I share freely with the Spirit. I share myself freely. I allow others to share freely without interruption. I am easy to talk to. I listen. I am listened to. I have close, fulfilling, loving relationships. I am free. We give great thanks for the graceful activation, infusion, and integration of all these positive qualities in the transformation and support blueprint unit and all associated pathways and cells, physical and etheric. We give great thanks to all the teams who assisted in this process, and we command the daily reinforcement of this process with love, grace, and ease of all positive qualities activated and infused into the transformation and support blueprint unit and all associated pathways, cells, physical and etheric, for this healing transmission. Teams, please repeat the activation and infusion process once a day for the next 2 days to allow for full, graceful and easy integration for each being taking part in this transmission to take place. Thank you. We now command our return to the earth plane, fully present and intact on all levels. Thank you. Please rapid dissolve the protection sphere for each being. If it is no longer needed, if it is still needed, then let it be as long as is needed. Thank you. We give great thanks for this gift of love. Oh, okay, everyone. Slowly open your eyes and come back to the space we're in and have a good stretch. Oh. I thank you all for participating. I thank you all for watching the show, and I thank you all for all that you are. So we're going to wind things up now for this evening. Teams, please run grounding frequencies on all who participated in both the meditation and healing transmission. Thank you. And remember out there, if you have had any first-hand experiences of matrix anomalies and glitches and wish to join me on the show to share your stories, please just email in. Okay, good night, everyone, and please join me again next week in No Space, No Time World. Mwah. Good night.
Humanity has been on an epic journey of discovery, learning the truth about the world we live in. New discoveries about the true origins of humanity, ancient history, free energy, as well as the systematic corruption of world governments are now on the forefront of our daily reality. Is the world headed towards destruction based on control and power? Or is an opportunity now being presented to shift and uplift into a higher consciousness? My name is Mel V, co-founder and creative director of Conscious Consumer Network, an independent broadcast network that was launched on the 1st of January 2015. In the last 3 years, Conscious Consumer Network has broadcast over 2,800 shows in multiple languages, featuring guests from across the world, whilst creating media that is aimed at the creation of a free, fair, peaceful, just, sustainable world. Conscious Consumer Network provides full training and an interactive support network for all broadcasters, and we are always looking for inspiring and educational content.
Hi, this is Lady Liberty.
And this is Miro Siegel.
In 2018, Conscious Consumer Network has expanded to multiple broadcast locations, increasing our availability and reach across the world, remaining on the cutting edge of independent media. If we wish to create a better world, we must first create better media, geared towards real education instead of indoctrination.
You guys really are what changing the world is going to be about. It's educating kids at a grassroots level.
Having become a pillar of stability in the turbulent world of independent media, we have even more going on in 2018. Conscious Consumer Network is a publicly funded network, and we rely on all of you to keep us on the air. Show your support for independent media by donating to our 2018 Network Support Fund. Dare to seek a better world. Support independent media.